Hello there, you're welcome to the next module that we are taking on this journey. Now, if you are watching this, it means that you have already watched the introduction module and the silver module, because this is the gold module. So by whatever means and however you've gotten to this particular video, I want you to ensure that your name is on the list just on my left, the list that is to my left. Fill in the form, put in your name and your email address and one pressing question that you will want me to help you answer concerning your relationship, and I'll be glad to do that. Now, one of the questions that somebody asked me, in fact, let me take two questions. One of the questions is what very many people have asked, and that is, how do I know the person that loves me genuinely, or the person I can settle down with? Now, that sounds like a very difficult question. It's a question that is scary. I mean, if you're asking yourself in the midst of your confusion, it's a question that needs time to be able to explain to you. And that is why, after this response I'm going to give, I want to ask you to really consider being part of the entire module of the 6 weeks course. It's going to be a giveaway. I told one of the senior men that I respect in the community. He happens to be an outstanding name here in our community here in London, and after I spoke with him and he asked, how much will this cost? And when I told him, he said, that is so inexpensive. That is so inexpensive. So I want you to consider being part of that course. Well, let me quickly answer. Now, how you know the person you should say yes to, how you know the person that you should accept to settle down with, number one is by you understanding yourself. I'll give you an example. If you are trained, if you have the training to be an architect, you wouldn't want to bother about taking on an accounting job or applying to an accounting firm, except they have a department where you are going to be able to function. How do I apply that to this? Understanding who you are, understanding your inclination, your tendencies, understanding the core values that you have, understanding your belief system, understanding the things you enjoy doing and the things you hate, the things you can understand, should be able to help you to use that to answer that question. And the other thing is, the choice that you make should be based on vision and your sense of mission. If it is just based on your feeling, if it is something you are doing because of the present feeling you have, you feel really strong towards that person, I guess you'll be working by assumption. You will be assuming so much. So it's something that you need to go through the help of a mentor or a coach, a relationship coach. What I do is mentoring people for successful dating and successful marriage. So if you are watching this, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. It's not everybody that has this opportunity. So I want you to consider, by the next module, which happens to be the platinum, I'm going to give you a rundown of the various things you do. And one of the things I'm going to treat in that course, the 6 weeks course, is how you can, under 1 hour, be able to assess and know without any shadow of doubt if that relationship is going to work or you are just wasting your time. Now, it is not something you do in the midst of your confusion. It's not something you do by assumption. It is not something you do because of how you feel at the moment. It's not just something you even say, okay, my intuition is telling me. Yes, if your intuition is telling you, your intuition may be right, but how prepared are you to live with that person? Do you know how you can respond or react to the other side of that individual? Because the mistake we make most times is how we assess beauty, which is one of the things I mentioned in the first module, the introduction module. I mentioned that we make this mistake of assessing beauty and assuming this person is good enough for me by just saying, oh, he's so handsome, oh, she's so pretty, she's so beautiful. Now, what in your own definition is the meaning of handsomeness, is the meaning of beauty? Now, is that even the thing that upholds marriage or relationship that lasts? What makes happy and lasting marriage is not just the looks. I agree, the person has to be beautiful in your own eyes, has to be handsome in your own eyes, depending on whether you are a man looking for a woman or you're a woman looking for a man. Now, if you're looking for a handsome man that is honest, then the ball is in your court. It has to be you who is able to ask yourself, do I have what it takes so that when this person shows up, I will not be a misfit? And you are the one that is going to say, now, by reason of this, I believe we can work together. And I have few simple steps, a system by which you can sit down and you are able, under 1 hour, you are able to know if your relationship will work with that individual or not. Now, that's something I want to hint you so that you decide if you are going to be part of the program or not. But if you are not, well and good. Still inform your friends to be part of this free program that we have made, and understand it's not going to be forever. It's just free for now, and after a while we're going to take off this website and only make it an internal thing. So make up your mind about that. I hope that that answer helps you. The second question is the one that one lovely lady asked, and that question is, I have a child and I am dating a man who we cannot do without each other, but he has not agreed to marry me, and yet we can't stay away from each other. Now, that is something that you now have to sit down and ask yourself, where am I going? Why on earth am I here? You see, your life has to be vision based. Your life has to be vision based, not controlled by feelings. That I appreciate the fact that it's something that has involved a lot of emotion, that you have invested a lot of your time, a lot of your emotion into it. I appreciate that. I understand that. I have an idea of what you are saying. But you have to sit down and ask yourself very pertinent questions. And one of them is, for how long will I continue this way? Now, most times women think that men reason the way they do. There are some men who just want you, they see you are having a child as an extra luggage for them. They see it as if that is too much. It might not be the money problem, it might not be the issue of being able to afford the funds or the funding. No, it might not be that. Is that he has no emotional or psychological capacity to accommodate that child. He can accommodate you and might actually give you the time he's given to you because of what he wants to get from you. So you have to be clear about that and make a decision. Do you want to go on that way? And how will you be able to even be able to take care of your own child? What room do you make for your child? So when you look at the whole picture, when you look at the entire thing, that helps you to be very objective in your decision. That's number one. Number two is to make up your mind to receive mentorship or get yourself a coach. If you don't find one, you have one speaking to you now. There is one here speaking to you. And all you do is to be part of this program, and then you can have a personalized coaching program. If you really want to succeed in anything, there is hardly one meaningful thing you want to do now that you will not invest into yourself. See, whatever you want to do, the most important investment you make is yourself. It's yourself. So you need to give time to investing into yourself, so you'll be able to handle the rest. I'm just believing that as this is giving an answer to you, that is also helping others. If you have a child, or for whatever reason a man claims to love you and cannot accommodate your child, then you will be able to define the kind of love. Might just be the erotic love. It might be. I'm not saying that is it. He might just do it for personal gratification. He likes your company but does not want to go all the way with you. He has room for you and not for your own child. So you have to bear that in mind. And how long will you be able to live with that? With a man who, if he decides tomorrow and say, okay, because of pressure, and of course that is not healthy, that is not good enough. If you are going to decide, or he's going to decide because you are putting pressure and it gives into that pressure, that will be like a man who is cornered, or he is trapped into the relationship. Let it be out of his own volition. And one of the topics I have treated in my book, How to Step Out of Singlehood in a Happy Marriage, is why it has to be the man that finds the woman. One of the reasons is that the issue of focusing love on a particular woman from one man is a problem, is an issue to men. It's an issue to men. It's easy for a woman to focus her love on one man and does not look outside. But for a man who is forced into a relationship and he is forced to the altar, you will force him to keep him. I'm hoping that doesn't sound too hard for you, but I want to be as honest with you as possible and ask you to make room for somebody else who is genuinely interested in you and will be willing to make room for your own child, so that the relationship will last. Okay, so if you're looking at a relationship that will last, then you need to consider, if a man says he's interested in you and is not interested in your child, you will not throw away your child. You will not send your child away to make room for you, for the man. The man that loves you has to be able to make room for both your mistakes and your victories, your crown and your defeats, and make sure that he helps you to overcome your limitations. I hope that helps. Well, on this particular edition, I had promised I'm going to take the aspect of your past, that's looking at hindsight, and then looking at now and looking at how it affects your decisions or the success you will make in future. So let's take a break here, and as soon as we are done with this, the next thing to do is to look at the video directly under where I am standing on this page. Look at that video and go through it. Take time and listen to the things that I'll have to say there. I'm sure that this is going to be very enlightening. It's going to help you. It's going to help you so that you don't walk into a relationship that will fail. It's good for you to understand where you are coming from. Maybe for the first time, face up to the fact that those things are affecting you, and those things will always be there with you until you face up to them and deal with them summarily. All right, thank you for taking out your time to watch this, and make sure you watch the next video for the real gist of what this is all about. Okay, see you in the next video.